Welcome back, it's me, Lou. Okay, I have a confession to make. Alright, so this is going to be the second time I recorded this particular video. So I have this routine that every time before I shoot a YouTube video, I always test my camera. And I'll do a quick like 5 or 10 second recording just to make sure everything's working. And of all the 60 plus videos I've done, I've never had any issues, and today I told myself, you know what, I don't need to do a test run. I can just go into this and just start recording. So of course, the one time I decide not to shoot a test video, the video it glitches on me. So I went into this raw without testing my camera, and I ended up recording this 20-minute long video. And then when I played it back, all it did was record 3 seconds of it. So here I am, I'm back to record in this review video once again, but I've already done this before, so it's probably gonna lose some of its spontaneity. So we'll try to approach this, fresh, like I've never done this before. So I'll try to pretend I'm surprised. All right, let's get to it. Welcome back, it's me, Lou, and I'm here today for another action figure unboxing and review. And today we're looking at this Marvel Avengers Mech Strike Iron Man. And as we've talked about in previous videos, this Avengers Mech Strike line of toys seems to be loosely based off of the Marvel Avengers Mech Strike comic book series. And in that comic book series, all the Avengers are piloting different robots and mechs, and each one's kind of tailored to kind of reflect their personality and the way they look. And in this case, there's Iron Man. Now, already in a few videos back, I've actually reviewed the Ultimate Mech Strike armor. And this was a 2-pack. And this is the solo figure. But theoretically speaking, in a perfect world, I should have bought this guy first and reviewed the solo figure and then went and do this. But I'm very backwards and I bought this guy first. And we're looking at the least interesting of the two, and which is this guy. But don't let you take that away. Just because he doesn't come with a robot armor doesn't mean he's not cool. He's very cool. So let's review the package, which thankfully when I reviewed this the first time I didn't completely obliterate. I just kind of ripped it off. So as we look at the package, as I've said before, I love the package design of the Mech Strike line. I love the white, it really pops. I enjoy the nice illustration they give you of each character in the corner. Nice, clean, crisp artwork. The bubble showcases the figure well and its shield accessory. And when you look on the back, there's a nice scene here. So if you're a kid, this kind of gives you something to work off of. There's Thanos here in his mech suit, and he's battling Captain America, Black Panther, Hulk, and Iron Man. And as of this video, Hulk and Panther, they don't have mech suits yet. I'm hoping they do. So fingers crossed for that. So let's pretend I never opened this figure and let's take it out. Oh wow, that came off easily. Alright. So first impressions off the card. Yeah, it's nice. I like this figure a lot. It's cool that they give him a shield accessory. In terms of the aesthetic of this Iron Man design, I like it. I like the distribution of color. To me, it looks about 75% red against 25% gold. The blue they use for the arc reactor is a nice shade of blue. It really pops. Same with his eyes. And upon closer examination, we'll set the shield aside and look at the figure. So this is a very nice sculpt for a budget toy, and this being clearly aimed at kids. If I was a 4-year-old, I'd be stoked to have this. Heck, I'm a full-grown adult, and I'm stoked to have this. If you're really into the Marvel Legends stuff, I would suggest every now and then, if you're not that if your taste isn't too exquisite and you could sacrifice some of the articulation, every now and then pick up one of these cheaper toys. They're just fun to play with. You still have, enough range of articulation, like, his arms and stuff move, and you still have swivels and stuff, but you're going to lose some of the things like the boot cut and like the ab crunch and the waist swivel. But I mean, just for the sake of this being a toy and for its price, it's really cool. And so looking at him, the sculpting detail is nice and crisp. If you look at the back, his back's nicely detailed. There's an impression of some rocket engines here and some vents. Now with the shield is cool. One thing I like about this shield is that they took the time out and they sculpted detail on the inside of the shield. They don't really need, I mean, it's a budget toy. They don't need to go that far, but it's nice that they did. And there's a nice long peg here, so you can plug into his forearm and you don't have to worry about it falling off. Unlike the one Captain America figure, there's a one Captain America, I believe it's the one that comes with the mech suit. His shield, the peg is so short that it doesn't really plug into the forearm that well. So with this figure, it's nice that you could do this. And you can even plug it into the back if you wanted to. Now one thing, I don't know what there's a clip up here on top of the shield. I don't know what this is for. There's no instructions that come with the action figure, and there's no illustration that depicts what this is for. But this is clearly a clip, and it's supposed to clip onto something, but I don't know what. I don't see anything on the figure that would tell me, that maybe it clips on his armor, or, maybe his hand could hold it funny. Who knows? So, one thing I'm kind of curious about is that I was kind of digging into my fodder of like extra action figure pieces, and I came across this. Now, this is a Tony Stark head from a Marvel Legends figure, and this is clearly not the realistic MCU Robert Downey Jr. head. This is something that looks like it's based off of the animation or even the comic book, because this is clearly a softer sculpt, and it's not very realistic. And my thought was, hey, this figure here isn't very, it's not based off the realistic designs, and in some ways it's not necessarily too cartoony, but it's a budget toy. This kind of looks like a budget head. Maybe we could do a swap. All right, so I did this in my first run of the video, and this head is it's a pain in the ass to like pull off, which makes sense because this is a toy aimed at 4-year-olds, and the last thing you want is a kid chewing on this and pulling this off the neck and swallowing it. So I'm gonna yank this head off. And right now it's not cooperating. Of course, it doesn't want to cooperate on take 2 of the video, but all right, I'm almost there. I can feel it coming out. All right. This is a pain in the ass to take out. Don't even bother trying unless you heat it up. I should have heated it up first, but I'm not gonna do that. All right, so here we are. Now, if you look closely, the sockets, they're almost the same size. This one's a little bit deeper. So my thought is I could warm this head up, either dunk it into like boiling water to soften the plastic, and I could place this head on here. But I'm not sure if the neck's gonna be too long. I mean, we'll decide when I get around to it. I have a feeling it might be, but it might come about to like right there. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of loosely place it on there. So what I want to do is I just want to create a Iron Man Tony Stark figure where I could do this, where it looks like he took his helmet off. Alright, so that's what I want to do. And I think I could get away with it. I think once I soften this up, I could probably push it down hard enough, and it'll look like a natural fit, kinda. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool if they actually released a variation of this where they gave you the Tony Stark head. Because even though I love Iron Man fully suited up, I just like it when, he takes the helmet off and you just see his head and his face and he's decked out in armor. It's a cool look. So we'll set that aside. And we'll get this head back on, which is hopefully going to be easier than taking it off. Ugh. Now, the downside of removing the head and taking it off all the time is that now it's like loosey-goosey and it just spins around. My OCD is going to go nuts. But I'll just reset the plastic, and I'll do that by heating this up first. And then I'll freeze it, and then when you freeze plastics, they contract, so it'll tighten up again. So this is Marvel Avengers Iron Man Mech Strike. And we're going to compare it with this. So this is the 2-pack, and voila, we're going to compare it with this guy. So right off the bat, you can see that this one is taller than this one. In terms of colors, I'm not sure if the camera catches it. This one's a brighter red, and this red's a little bit more subdued. I like the subdued color better. The really bright red, it really screams more like kid's toy. Like it's almost colored like you'd expect like a play school toy, where it's just really bright and it screams at the kid, "Come play with me." Now, if this was proportioned a little bit better, and if it had more articulation, this would easily fit into a Marvel Legends line, just because the color is a little bit more subdued, looks a little bit more sophisticated. This is like Iron Man when he's going out for a steak dinner. This is Iron Man when he wants to go to Top Golf with all his bros. You know, the screams loud and he's a little bit burlier. I like the arc reactor on this one. I like how it's nice and big. This one's kind of small. This one has a brighter tone of, not only is the red brighter, but the gold's brighter. I would kind of like to see this gold on the subdued red, because I think the contrast would work excellent for it. Now, if I had to choose, which one of these I'd pick in terms of a toy, little kids I think are gonna gravitate towards this. This looks like something more I'd want to play with if I was a little kid. As an adult, this one looks a little bit more sophisticated, and I kind of like this one. But I like this one's hand better. This looks like Iron Man's ready to like blast you full on. This Iron Man's hand's kind of like it's like he wants to like blast you, but he's not sure yet, and he's just kind of making more of a claw. And it actually reminds me of the wrestling faction from AEW, the Dark Order. You know, here he is. He's like, join the Dark Order. Oh man, I don't know. They're both cool. I mean, in all honesty, if you get both of them, just get both of them. There's no reason why you shouldn't build up your Hall of Armors. So the question remains, will this guy fit into the mech suit? Let's see. Alright, so we pop this open. And I ran into this issue the first time I shot the video, is that this hole here, it's tighter than the one that came with this guy. This guy, when you plug him in, it's a natural fit. This one, the hole's tighter, I don't want to press it in all the way, because for one, I don't want to stretch the hole out. I mean, of course you've heard that before. And I don't want to, get this peg all wrecked. So, but you could place the figure loosely in there without plugging them in, and it still closes. So yeah, he's compatible with this. It's awesome that they give you. This is something that the Marvel Legends don't have. Even though Marvel Legends, they do have Hulkbuster figures, they don't give you an actual suit where you can throw Iron Man inside of it. And even though this is a budget toy, I love the idea of still having a Hulkbuster and just throwing them inside. And it's like, hey, let's take on the Hulk now. And a cool thing with the shield having a plug in here and a hole there, there you go. It bulks him up and it looks cool. I said this in my first take of the video, that it'd be awesome if they gave you a hole in the back. I mean, who loves plugging stuff into the hole in the back? And you can plug a shield in there, but they don't. And it would have been cool if they gave you a hole in the front and you could plug it in here and really make them burly and bulked up. So yeah, this figure is great. Did we talk about articulation? Maybe, I can't remember. So yeah, his head moves around, it's on a ball joint. His arms spin around, and they could go up. And this one actually goes up. Does it go up higher than the other one? No. Yeah, so if they're doing the chicken dance, this guy's going to win in the chicken dance contest. They both could do the splits. This one could split, go down further. This guy, not so much. His leg could spin around, his elbow swivel. Nice clicky noise when you move the arm. Yeah, so I enjoy this figure a lot. I know the older collectors, they kind of shy away from this stuff, but you know, if you're just about the characters, there's no reason why I shouldn't, you know, dip into the pool of the budget figures every now and then. And, you know, for one, like I think I said this before in a video, I don't mind buying the cheaper toys because my expectations are a lot lower. Like if I pay $8 for this figure and everything I got out of it is like, you know, what we saw right now, I'm completely happy with it. It's great. But every now and then, I might pick up like a $19 figure, and God, especially with the Marvel Legends, it's like they reuse the sculpt so many times over that sometimes you're not always getting a completely new figure because they might, you know, just color swap certain things, or just the base body's the same that you've seen on a dozen other figures. But it's always cool to get a completely new sculpt of something. And I like this a lot. It's a good representation of Iron Man. And like I said, if you're a kid, you're going to be all over this guy. This is really cool. So yeah, if you get a chance, pick them up. And while you're at it, pick up the 2-pack 2 that comes with the armor. And then you can have your own little Hall of Armors. And that's awesome. So, oh, let's compare them real quick with the solo Captain America. Well, while we're all at it. Oh man! All right, so this is where the height kind of like, yeah, Cap's really bulked up here. I mean, he's wearing this armor, but he looks a little bit more massive than this guy. You know, he's a little bit taller too. And then you have this. So these two are closer to scale. This guy's a little bit smaller, but the design is nice. I like the design of this one a lot. And I love this cap. This cap is awesome. I want to get another one of these and just paint them up. And then I want to get another one, and I kind of want to take the head off and get the Anthony Mackie head and try to make Falcon as Captain America and repaint it. Yep, so I don't know, it's all good. So if you see this guy and you want to dabble in the world of the kitty budget toys, I highly recommend it. You know, I have a soft spot for these toys. My inner child just loves stuff like this. So go out there, buy yourself some Iron Man. And once again, thank you for checking out this video. It was kind of a pain to like shoot this a second time. And I'm really hoping that once I hit stop on my camera and press playback, that it actually recorded the video and not just 3 seconds of nothing. Alright, so this is Lou signing off. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks again.